So this series might be called Build Blue. The series might be called Blue. What is up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? It is your man Taylor from Cheap Man's Garage here. Finally filming another video. I kind of went through a route where I would film a couple videos and just not like the way they turned out. But today's going to be different. Today we are doing a kind of a breakdown review of this local YouTuber here in Reno. His name is ImYoSancho. Dude's super cool. He's gone through several different builds that he's done. His current one is an Acura Vigor, which he's going for kind of more of a VIP kind of build on it. So we are going to go meet him right now, have a little bit of lunch, kind of a late lunch. It's 2 right now, but still have a little lunch and go shoot some stuff of his car. This is kind of a series that I've wanted to start doing, start reviewing kind of like local people's builds. I know the Hoonigans, they kind of have a trademark on the names of like Build Biology, Build Breakdown. They're like, I don't know if it's a sister company, but Donut Media, they have Bumper to Bumper and a few other ones. So I've been trying to think of names, and the one I thought of was maybe like Build Blueprint. I just don't know how close that is. When I thought of it, I thought, okay, it sounds cool, but it's really close to their name. And I don't want to step on any toes. But it's kind of the best name I was able to come up with. This series might be called Build Blueprint, but we'll see. So anyway, let's go get some grub. All right, so we're out here, and what I'm looking at today is a car you probably don't see a whole lot of. Well, I guess I'll just let the video explain what I'm talking about. All right, so for everyone who doesn't already know who you are, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, first things first, they call me ImYoSancho on Instagram and YouTube and on PlayStation too.
All right, right on. So tell me a little bit about this car. How did you find this car? How long have you known about this car? Because this is, like I said before, this is a car I have never heard of until I heard you bought one.
So how it started was about like 2 years ago. I used to work at an apartment complex, and there was this guy, he had a cappuccino brown one, and it was all stock. It just had like a little sound system in it. And then every time I would pass by it, it just looked super clean. Like it looked like an unmolested Honda, which is very hard to find nowadays. So I kind of like grown attached to it. So I would keep looking around, and they're either wrecked, overpriced, or just one or the other. So I had a Del Sol that I was planning to turbo, and I needed something bigger. So I got a Vigor, and then, no pun intended. So I found this one in Sacramento. It was decently priced. I got this one for $1,600, and the cool story about it is I'm the second owner of this car. It's still got the old school California title. It's like pinkish, greenish color. The original owner had it in a storage unit. That person, sadly, I believe passed away, and they auctioned off the car. And this group bought the car and sold it to me. They were asking $1,600, so I drove all the way to Sacramento from Reno, Nevada, just to pick up that car, and I drove that bitch home.
So you bought this pretty much stock, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And so, as you guys can tell, this is no longer a stock car. So let's go over mods a little bit.
So I got this JDM. No, I'm just kidding. So when I first got it, I was actually driving over there with my buddy, and I was ordering parts already as we were driving over there. So I ordered some coilovers for this car, which for Acura Vigor fits 1990 to 97 Honda Accord coilovers. So I had ordered coilovers. I ordered a front lip, which is for a 90, I believe it's a 94 to 97 Honda Accord Mugen style front lip. And you have to cut the ends just to make it to fit. Other than that, though, it bolts right up.
Okay. So quick question. So a lot of the stuff on this, is it fairly Accord related?
Yeah, for the most part. Suspension-wise, this thing's an Accord. This was one of Honda's first attempts to make a luxury vehicle, and they didn't put cup holders in.
Okay, right on.
Yeah.
So one of the things that might catch your eye right away is the strobes. So let's talk about that.
I bought this kit from Pet Boys. I don't exactly remember the name of it, but it was just like, I was just walking in the store one day and I just like passed by it and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I was like, oh, well, I know I'm going for the VIP scene or look on this car. So I was like, I know some VIP cars have strobes on there. So I was like, fuck it, I'll do that too. So when I bought it, it comes with double-sided tape on the light, so it's stuck inside where my high beam is at. And I still have my high beams in there. And pretty much I just wired it to this ballast it comes with, and you can either wire it to a switch to give it power, or you can just wire it to where it comes on direct. But I decided to do it to direct power, so I can do it even when the car's off, like how it is right now.
Okay, right on.
Had 2 extra slots in it, so I did the same thing with the tail lights. So now there's strobes in the tail lights as well.
And might I just add real quick, the strobe lights on this give it a completely different look and just make this thing look like insane. When this thing's driving down the road and it's got the strobes on, it looks so cool. All right, so one of the big things that I like, because I ball on a budget hardcore, is these side skirts.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about where you got the side skirts.
So for all you JDM fanatics out there, there's a wonderful place where you can get all types of custom JDM stuff made. It's called Home Depot. So what I did is I went to Home Depot and I got this idea off of, I believe, somebody from YouTube, and he took his rain gutters. He bought rain gutters basically, and he threw them on his car. The only thing he did is he didn't color match it, so it looked kind of funky. So I was like, maybe if I color match it, it'll look a little bit better with my car. So I decided to go pick up 2 rain gutters. They're actually under $5 each. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
Damn. Real quick, sorry to cut you off. Side skirts for $5 a piece. That's cheaper than eBay. Mm-hmm. Insane.
I love eBay.
All right, so what about these wheels? I love these wheels. They look like the Work Miser style.
Yeah.
Where did you get these?
They're replicas off of that. So these are, I believe, they're red line wheels. Yeah, they're red line wheels. Sorry, I don't know if it's Racing Heart or Red Line. So they're red line wheels. I honestly don't know the brand or the make of it or model of the wheel. So I had been searching for wheels for like 3 weeks after I got this car, and everyone had a bunch of 5-lug wheels for sale. I couldn't find 4 lugs, especially in 17s to 19s. And then one day I just decided to have a shot in the dark, and I was scrolling on wheels for sale on Facebook Marketplace, and sure enough I saw these. They were gold, but I didn't like the gold. I wanted to go for like a white on white type of look.
Wait, real quick, the spokes were gold?
The whole face was gold.
I would have never known.
Yeah.
That's painted so well.
Yeah, I had to scuff the wheels a little bit and mask off all the rivets and the face, take off the center cap, and mask off the lip as well. And yeah, I spent about like 3 hours painting and masking. It was worth it though.
Okay, so we know it's lowered. It's got these nice wheels on it. Does it have spacers on it too?
Yes, it does.
Because I was gonna say that fitment is on point. You can't get a finger in there.
Don't even try. Don't hurt yourself. No, yeah, there's spacers. They're inch spacers all around, so it's a square setup. The wheels are 17 by 7.5. So I just wanted like a wider look, and it wasn't as wide as I was going for, but it kept it as flush as possible. So yeah, it does have spacers on it.
All right, so next kind of thing I want to move on to is the interior of this car. So the seats are still kind of a work in progress, but the big thing on this, and this is something that you do kind of as a would you say side hustle a little bit?
Yeah, it's like a side hustle.
So what he does is he reskins these headliners, but he also can throw in little fiber optics in them and get kind of like a star headliner in like, what brand is it? Is it like Bentley or?
I believe it's the Rolls-Royce.
Rolls-Royce? Yeah. So we got Rolls-Royce action in an Acura Vigor. All right, so let's take a look in here at this headliner. That headliner is just beautiful.
I can make it jump with the music if you want.
Can you?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. You like YG?
Yeah, hell yeah.
On that setting. It's got a shock sensor in it, so it's sound sensitive, so you can go, ah! And it, yeah, see?
Oh, okay.
Man, this big money shit going on, nigga. All that little boy shit, Round town, get bumped. Round town, get bumped.
So, quick rundown. Before we started filming, he kind of explained it to me. So, the ballast and the beginning of the wiring is in the C-pillar, right?
Yeah. So my Dremel broke when I was going to cut into it, so you'll see the pillar's kind of poking out right now.
So, it starts there, and he has to hand poke every fiber optic through the headliner, run it all the way from that corner all the way to that corner. That is some craftsmanship, my dude.
Thanks. Just trying to...
All right, so one thing that we want to kind of go over, this thing has a very interesting motor. It is not your typical Honda D series, B series, K series, F series, H series. Do you even know what series this is? Is it a series?
Honestly, I don't know. This is the first Honda motor I've ever dealt with that looks like this.
So, if you guys aren't familiar with Vigors, and we can all count on our hands, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where most Honda motors stop. There's 5. 5 cylinders on a Honda. That's almost like some BMW shit right there.
Inline 5 on top of that.
So it being this 5-cylinder, do you ever kind of get like, I mean, does it drive well?
Yeah, it runs really well. Since this car was sitting for since 2004, I know that the daisy cap has to be replaced, but other than that though, I did a full tune-up on this car and it drives really good. It picks up pretty well. And I believe stock is like 176 horsepower.
Okay, that's what's up. That's enough to get it up out of its own way.
Yeah, something to pull this heavy ass Landy out.
So 5-cylinder mounted that way, but it's front wheel drive. And I know that way back in the day when I had an Acura Legend, it was a V6 mounted the same way, but front wheel drive. And so I know kind of in this era, Acura was doing this they were kind of experimenting a lot, but I mean, it really ended up in some dope cars. So that's kind of the overview of this car. Should we go try and get some rolling shots?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
All right.